Okay, so week 2, 1 podcast in the books. So we'll do our normal segments again, hopefully more time for healthcare, but like I tell the boys that, um, like, when people are picking on you or making fun of you, the best way to, like, take the energy out of that is to be able to, like, admit when you're wrong or admit when you do something embarrassing. Because now, like, they can't laugh at you if you're laughing at yourself.
Right.
I think it's also a good just skill for life to be able to laugh at yourself. But I also have, like, really self-deprecating humor. But we watched our first podcast together, and we made fun of each other as only a married couple would. And so I think we should start each week now with sort of a bloopers from last week, the things that we thought were embarrassing about ourselves. Because if we do it, then, like, good riddance to whoever else wants to poke fun at us.
You have it.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with myself. Although I'd like to start with you. I'll start with myself. So I have a doctorate in business. I've written 2 books, and yet I chose to say sadly or unsadly, which is not a word. So that was pretty embarrassing. But in the heat of the moment, you're talking, I make up words all the time, so we're just gonna rock with it. I was making up a word on the fly.
Hey,
Unsadly, it's not a word,
it fit. You know,
but yeah, I
sometimes it be
said
like
that.
that.
Clearly. So that was my embarrassing moment of last week is unsadly, and I was mortified.
So, I guess floor is on me.
Yeah.
All right, mine. Yeah, it was when I was introducing the show, and I called us. It is what it is. Yeah, but technically I'm wrong, but I'm right. Because I mean, to clear it up, is we said what we said. So technically, it is what it is.
Right. I
But
mean,
that's another. I can't be trying to
right.
step on toes and
Right.
all that.
I mean,
You
it
know,
is what it is,
no
but
question.
not the
But
name of the
so
podcast. That was
yeah,
pretty
that was
fun.
my that's pretty funny watching it. Like, did I just really say that?
Yeah,
But
it was pretty great. Well, oh
yeah,
well, like we're newbies clearly. So
hey, right, like
that's like real
everything.
life. I do think it's better when you're just real and like we could have edited those moments out, but
Right, why not?
like
One take.
you don't get to edit real life.
No, you don't.
Like we tell the kids with video games, like you can't respawn. Well, in like real life, you can't edit. So
Hey, you get one false decision,
yeah.
and it could cost you.
Well, that just took a
Good
dark
thing
turn.
ours wasn't.
Yeah, let's switch that.
Yeah.
So in dark past. Okay, so let's start with couples court.
Dun, dun, dun.
Right, we didn't actually have any like big disagreements, so I decided to pick something that we disagree about all the time, and that is meals. Deciding what to eat, where to eat.
Here
Like
we go.
it's
Just don't let it ruin the show.
we're not gonna couples court can't get
Okay.
like it. We won't.
All right.
Um, I we cannot be the only people that like argue about this. So you have the dynamic of are we cooking, are we eating out? Which like both of us can cook and prepare meals. So it could be either of us. One of us could cook and the other, but we tend to be really busy. The kids would probably almost always rather eat out unless it's like a recipe they love.
All right.
During the holidays, we don't have a ton of time to meal prep. So we're like, cool, we're eating out. And then you and I
Here we go.
play this tug of war, like, where are we going? Because I am not picky.
Here we go.
you
Here we go.
you are picky. So when the pickiest one doesn't want to pick the place, I'm lost.
I'm gonna let you speak, and then I'll get it mine.
Okay, let me get it all out and then you can go. Okay, so I will say you should pick babe because you are very particular. Instead, you should tell me what you have a taste for. Keep in mind, like I have 5 people, well, 4 that I'm ordering for you, and then the kids, and then me.
Right.
So I'm like, just tell me what you have a taste for, and I'll handle it. And then you won't. You'll be like, well, I don't know. What do you have a taste for? That's not an answer to the question. So then, hold on, I'm almost done. You get your like testimony time. So then we go back and forth, and either you tell me to pick, and I just get pissed off and I pick, and then we go
Why are
to
you pissed off, P.S.?
because I shouldn't have to because I'm not the picky one. So then I go and I
Okay.
pick, and then you can't find something, don't like what you got because you're the picky one. Somehow me picking was the real problem with the situation, or you don't pick. And now you're pissed off that you had to pick. And like,
Well,
we're
to
too old
clear
to
it
be
off,
arguing about
I'm
this.
not pissed off. It's just weird that I give it to you because, you know, you're supposed to, you know, respect the woman, you know, so I'm literally saying, what do you want, babe? I'm catering to you, right? But
No, because the
okay,
catering to me would be like, what do you want? I want you to pick.
okay. All right. Is it my fault?
Yeah.
Can I go?
You asked the question. I was just,
Okay.
okay.
All right. So then now let's pick up right there. Let's say I do pick now. The chances I say, all right, let's go to you know me, a Chicken Express. Let's go to a KFC or a Popeye.
You do realize
Now
all
it's
those are chicken places.
sorry. Oh, great. You want to pick places there's nothing on the menu for me
I haven't said that for a very, very, very,
because
very,
I
very
haven't
long
picked those
time.
places in a very, very, very
I
long
actually
time.
encouraged Popeyes the other day. You were like struggling to make decisions, and I was like, "Babe, there's a
Well, no,
Popeyes."
we was on that tournament and it looked as shady. I'm cool. That's the only reason why I didn't, because you know where it was at. I'm gonna go over here, but then you're right. Then over there was closed too, so we ended up not even getting food. But it don't matter, you know. Like you know, just like I know, this is pointless. It is a pointless
So why do you get
debate.
frustrated? Why can't you just pick?
I do pick,
No, you
and
absolutely
when
don't.
I do pick, it's you know that's why like, I take heed and I remember things that places that you like. So you know, I'm learning. You know,
We also had a temporary solution, which was you said, if you have to pick, we're always eating at Panda Express.
Yep.
And I said, fine. I was okay with that. And then you stopped having a taste for Panda Express. So
no,
you
that's
kind of
not
can't
it.
have it
That's not it.
both
That's
ways.
not it. That's not it. That's not it. But
So
yeah,
we don't have resolution.
no. But hey, we're good because there's something everywhere for both of us.
So what are we going to have for dinner?
What do you want?
See, like it's so not over. It's okay. Our poor kids are going to grow up and their poor wives are going to be like just set up for failure. It's terrible. Terrible. It's okay. Okay, so also those are very first world problems, but it's real. I think married couples
Yeah,
probably do
is.
argue. And when you're
It
married
is.
and you've been together for a long time and you don't have like really big catastrophic things to argue about, like little stupid things turn into arguments, which in some ways is sort of a blessing that that's the
Right.
stupid stuff we argue about,
It really.
but it so doesn't matter.
No.
Yeah. I think it's also because we have prioritized eating together, which like a lot of like we didn't grow up that way, but
Yeah.
we prioritize eating together because like most people are like, why doesn't she just get what she wants and he gets what he wants? And it's like, because I don't know, really early on we just always started eating together, so that
Really,
probably
I can't think of a
yeah,
time we
it's like
didn't.
unless for some reason we're not
Yeah.
so we make this like more complicated than we need to for sure.
Think we would got the
Figure it
hang of
out,
it by
yeah,
now.
yeah.
But anyway,
So next segment, parenting. So it's the week before Christmas, and we have children in elementary school, which means we have school parties. And this is the first year in like 5 years that I am not a room mother. Why was I a room mother up to this point? Because I had severe mom guilt for how much I worked. And I thought the way I could satisfy that guilt was by being a room mom because that like made me a better mother. But this year was really interesting. It was my first time like where you didn't have to help me carry boxes of supplies in.
it was amazing.
Prep snacks and goodie bags and like coordinate parent texts and all of that. It was weird just to walk in when the party started and leave when the party ended. But, and I'm curious your takeaways from this other than just hallelujah. For me, it was so odd to see how I think I was like really overdoing it. Because I was like looking, like even one of the parties had multiple room moms and they still didn't do as like what I was doing. So then so it's caused, because I overthink everything, it's caused this like reflection for me that I put so much stress and pressure. I mean, my clients knew I was a room mom because I'd be like, guys, no calls, no meetings. I'm a room mother. I have like Valentine's to get ready,
Yeah.
And then I
Not
get
that
to these
serious.
parties, and like the parties were so great. The kids had a blast, but we did like minute to win it themes, and I
Yeah.
was like
Way too much.
90s like throwback trivia.
They had no idea what you
But
were talking about.
I didn't pick that theme though, the school did. But I just like decided to lean into it, you know.
What the games you brought in.
Yeah, well that was sort of the point. But yeah, I think I was really overdoing it because the kids had a great time. The other room moms were like not stressed at all. They were like, bring $7, call it a day. We're gonna throw some stuff on a plate. The kids are gonna eat sugar and go on about their day. So what do you how did you take this?
Like everything, like just relax, babe. It's not that serious. But I was glad you was able to see it, step back from the other side, like my side of the table, and see it. And like, right, you see, and with the kids, look, nothing was changed. They all had a good time. Tate, he's gonna say now that was his last, 5th grade party. And he can remember that party, So
He's already saying it. You haven't heard
exactly. So it's like, I'm sorry, I know you right now. See, I can tell I'm looking at you. Me saying that affecting you. But you even have parts of it. Yeah, that memory. But we were there. And now
It's
we
like
got
that was his last party. Really? No. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
But,
It was great. The moms did
yeah.
great. The other thing that was so hard for me, it was like so many of the moms, like moms who get to be full-time moms, like being a stay-at-home mom is an incredibly difficult job. I can't imagine. I don't know which is harder, being a working mom or being a stay-at-home mom. But we're all like really awful to each other. Like working moms judge stay-at-home moms, stay-at-home moms judge working moms, and like everyone just needs to chill out and realize that all the moms are momming to the best of their ability. And dads are just in the corner, just like,
I was about to say, I have
where's
no
the
say in
snacks?
that. So
Yeah.
that's up to you.
But it was good. And actually, I'm like so excited. Like the first time I would finish the Christmas party. I'd be like, okay, I have until February till the next party. Now I'm like, when's the next party? I wasn't do anything. It was pretty great.
Feel good, huh?
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah. So, but I like reflected. I took the moment in and learned from it.
What did we learn from it?
That I probably should stop volunteering for so many things and overcommitting myself, and that I don't actually think my kids cared. Although Ray laid it on so thick the night before and the morning of, I didn't even tell you this, but we were pulling into school the morning of the party, and he was like, Mom, where's my goodie bags? Aren't you going to get some for the whole class? Because so-and-so's mom did. And for a second, I tried to calculate how much time it was between drop off and the party. And if I could make it to get good. And I was like, Ray, there's just no way I can get there, bud. But I guess other kids like guilted their moms too, because someone made a comment about goodie bags. So another mom was like, I feel so bad. I didn't bring goodie bags.
All right. And now I think about it though. This is the first year they didn't come home with bags.
So I was supposed to do the goodie bags. Now you're really like laying down thick. Like,
obviously,
it's on me now.
Everybody drank that tea.
Like,
no mom
there was no goodie bags.
Yeah, I'm taking out of their bags. I think there's no bags to take nothing from.
That's a terrible reason for you to recognize that there's no goodie bags.
Like, thought about
P.S.
it.
Kids, when you watch this, if you wonder what happens to your Halloween candy, it doesn't go bad. It doesn't have time to go bad. Dad eats it.
Yeah, once we take it because they've been trying to eat it. Yeah.
And the same thing happens with your Valentine's candy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there were no bags, so.
But yeah, I just thought about that.
But guess what? It was fine. He's already forgotten about it.
Yeah.
So Christmas break. That'll be fun and exciting.
Next week. Well, the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, next 2 weeks will be fun. We have basketball. So we had basketball last night. And we have our next game is Monday. And the littles have practice. But for this week in sports, before you talk about professional stuff, although I do want to take 1 second to talk about yeah, but we do have to talk about Jake Paul getting just for me. Like if we could just at the end. But anyways, this week in sports, I want to talk about fans.
Right.
So I'll start with kid fans, and then you know a lot more. Like you probably have lots of fan stories, particularly like Patriots fans, all those. But
right.
This week we were at a game, a home game. We were the only fans again in the stands at a home game. It was kind of wild, but it's okay. So I was doing my usual hooting and hollering, but I have never the fans were really extra. Like they were, and they weren't. they actually weren't accurate. Like it's one thing to be extra,
Yeah.
but and like none of us are like telling the ref to call travel on your own team, right? I get that. But like they just were saying stuff that did not fit with the moment.
Yeah, that
Like
lady I'm talking about, as soon as they get the ball, we down here, then inbound, and she talk about some, get the rebound. Like,
yeah.
like, lady, can they even get across court?
Yeah.
They ain't even got a shot up. She's screaming, get the rebound. Like,
Yeah. And
yeah,
then
it
the
was
guy
crazy.
screaming like in the lane, and he was really angry. Like if I saw him
Yeah,
in a dark alley, I would be scared. Like he was
yeah,
very mad,
yeah,
asking the refs like, do their whistles even work? And that they suck. They're terrible. Like, and I'm surprised the refs like didn't ask, just like
well,
either. I mean,
you know why. You know why the refs didn't say nothing to nobody.
say it. Why are you not saying it? Are we being real? Say what
I
you gotta
mean,
say.
right, like I said, they ain't look like me. I'm gonna say that.
So you think if you would have said that, the refs would have called you?
Quit playing with me. If I would have said, half of what he said. You see, the coach, they teed him up, and he looked like me. You know what I mean? Look, he got the wow, and you see, he said
Yeah, I
nothing
mean the
else.
coach didn't say anything like what the
No,
people.
he wasn't
And
even
it's
close.
hard when the bleachers are literally that was one of those where the bleachers were on the court. Like everyone is so close to players, you could hear every single thing.
Yeah,
It was just not good sportsmanship
it
either.
wasn't. It
Like
wasn't.
when they would like our team would shoot free throws, they'd be screaming like, "Get that out of here!" But like, wow,
Yeah,
I get it, you're losing, but I mean, I have a feeling they probably act like that even when they're winning. It's just like a culture.
might get worse.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
it just felt very much like the culture of that team was like,
but
we're
unfortunately,
bullies.
that team and their skill set, they don't win much. They don't win much. That's why they understand that fans, how they were. Like, it was like, and I'm not trying to be mean to these kids. I want everybody to have fun, but as a fan, if you got a team to really root or if you just there to cheer them on. Like, and this is a cheer on team.
Oh, we've
like,
been on some cheer on teams.
For
We've
sure.
been parents of some of those.
I ain't gonna say that.
We've been
but
some
yeah,
parents
no
of
question.
some cheer on
like,
teams.
no question. So it's like, it is what it is, but not talking about the show. All right, just talking in general. But no, seriously, like, I didn't understand like how those fans was reacting. Like how about this? And this is what I was thinking the whole time. If them boys had half as much heart as they fans, they'd be dogs out there.
For sure.
They'd be dogs.
The one
but the
dad,
fans, like, if they can like morph, them boys would be dogs. Like if they could be the fans, get out there on that. But you can't. They ain't got the same nothing like y'all do out there, and it didn't.
But
it just didn't make sense to me.
I would say that's like, it's not that different than keyboard warriors. I have a feeling like the dad who was next to me,
Yeah.
who was like way too close, was like, I got to get out of here. I can't watch this. And like removed himself. I just have this like sneaking suspicion that if he was on the court, like if you and he were doing a one-on-one, I just have a feeling his whole demeanor would probably be a little bit different. I don't think he would be so big and bullish. It's like somebody who can get really brave behind a keyboard, but now like in person can't,
Yeah.
And I don't know. I want our sons and the players that they play with. And our coaches we're at the school right now. I feel like the coaches handle themselves with such professionalism. And I'm a big fan of that. They're good sports. If they're like leading in a blowout, they punish the kids if the kids do obnoxious stuff. And I think that's a lesson to be learned. But it reminded me of like when we lived in Boston and had some moments. And like, it's not just high school fans that are extra.
No, absolutely not. It's fans in general. You can go overboard as a fan. I don't understand it. Why would I put myself at risk just for literally a game? No, but people do it, every day. And I understand it when you got a kid on that court. You got a different, feeling that you're cheering for, but you still got to have a cap on it. You know what I mean? You got to be a ceiling to it, and yeah, so I don't get it. It happens.
It was crazy. It was a good conversation for our little kids too, like about how to play.
They saw it. Tate couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah, because the adults were making fools of themselves.
Yeah,
like
because that lady, that wasn't even half of what she said. I'm talking about it was crazy. It was crazy.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not even like a basketball, like I don't have a high basketball IQ. I have enough to like watch with you and watch my sons play, but I just knew some of what she was saying was just like categorically wrong.
Yeah.
And that it's like to be wrong and be that loud. That's why, if you ever wonder why my repertoire of sayings I scream are pretty standard, because I'm not about to embarrass myself that loud.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
Please stop.
So, okay, well, we'll transition that a little bit. This week in sports was that. We're going to get a little heavy for a second, but I think it's important. So, this week in news, the thing I wanted to chat about a little bit was what happened in Australia and just what's been happening around the world. And again, this week in news is not political. And I think we're going to work really hard. Sometimes it will be harder than others, but we're going to work really hard to not make this about our political views, but more just about an open conversation. So we have lots of friends who are Jewish and lots of friends who are Christian and friends who are Muslim and like friends who are all across the spectrum. And something that's bothered me for a long time, but really since October 7th, is the way it's become like one thing or the other. Like you either believe that it's okay, like you support children dying in Gaza, or you support killing Jews. Like you have like, and really it's all hate all across the board. Like anti-Semitism is not a political position. It's just hate. And it's just dolled up with makeup, but it's hate. Just like hating on Palestinian refugees is hate. Those two things are hate. And I look at especially my Jewish friends who are struggling to feel safe, period. And obviously, like we've dealt with things being a mixed couple where like there's just hate against the fact that we're a mixed couple. And like we've experienced just blatant aggressive racism. Yeah. And so we know what that looks like, but it's so different when it like becomes acceptable to some people to just kill them because of their religion. And so I guess what I wanted to talk about, and I've talked to a lot of my friends the last couple weeks, like to just check on them, because I don't think they're not posting about it because they're scared. They've lost friends and clients who just like want to take a really solid stand. And what's so interesting is like, they're not advocating for hate and death of other people, even Palestinians. They're just saying like, we should all feel safe in our country. We should all be safe. And it just really bothers me that you don't have to like Netanyahu. You can be completely against his political views. You don't have to agree with Israeli politics. And you don't have to hate Jews. All those things can be true at the same time. You don't have to, it's not binary. It's not one or the other. Like, I'm pretty sure there are people in this country who hate Trump and hated Biden and hated Obama and hated Bush, but they didn't hate America and they didn't hate Americans. But for some reason, because of where and who and like what's happened, it becomes like almost okay to feel like it's okay to hate and ultimately kill. Right. It just like, it really bothers me. And I think it comes from a place of ignorance. And so it's just, I don't know, it feels heavy, especially when you have people that are close. Like obviously, like Brett, I was talking to Brett about this and she was saying, she has people, she supported Black Lives Matter and she was all about supporting everybody, right? And she's obviously the most like loving, human supporting person. And then people like, because of her religion, just want her to die. And it's like, those things don't make sense. They don't add up.
Yeah, not at all. I don't get it.
And I don't understand why hate just becomes acceptable. Like, because Israel, I mean, think about if, and I'll say both, right? I'll say Biden and Trump. Think about if other countries judged American civilians in other countries to the point of murder based on what a president of the U.S. did. I mean, think about this president or the last one, right? You could be really passionately on either side. if you and I are held accountable for the decisions of a president to the point where we should die, I just feel like something's
Yeah.
off. Like, we're all humans.
Yeah. It don't make sense.
And it scares me that we're raising children in a world where it's acceptable to hate like that to the point of murder. And it's one thing when you have these like rogue vigilantes who go out and do something, but when you have like this like quiet millions of people who support
Yeah.
that it's happening and don't speak out against it, like
Well,
I can love my Jewish friends and want them to live and be safe, and I don't have to agree with everything that the Israeli government does. Just like you can love Americans and not love everything the US government does. Like where's the disconnect?
well, I guess it's one good thing about the U.S. You know, it ain't happening here like that.
It is happening here though. The thing is you are just not hearing about it. It's not happening on the scale, but it is absolutely happening here. And see, I think that's sort of the feeling is like, well, it's not close to home, but it's just getting progressively closer to home. And it would be way easier to like have those situations here than have them somewhere else. It's happened. I mean, like people are scared to send their kids to their Jewish day school because like what that happens at all schools. So now if it becomes okay and this like rhetoric is accepted, like I don't know, it's just it's
Yeah, it don't
upsetting.
make sense.
And
Yeah. It's-
at the end of the
people
day, hate
hating
is
somebody,
hate.
You know, right? Racism, all of it. It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
I say judge a man by his character, not by his color.
Or his religion or
right, religion, same thing. Like that goes in with color. You know what I mean? Like so.
it's just, yeah. I guess that's the takeaway. And I'm trying to talk to the boys about it in a way that makes sense to them, that you can disagree with someone and that doesn't mean you have to hate the alternative side. It doesn't we've all become like all ones and zeros. Like you're either Republican or you're Democrat. You're either like pro-black or you're anti-black. You're either pro-Jewish or you're anti-Jewish. And it's like that's not how it has to be. We've created this. Like, and I would say we haven't created it. I would say a select few with a lot of power have created this message that you have to pick a side. And that but hate is still hate.
Like I always told you, they punish us for everything. This ain't nothing but gang banging. I'm telling you. That's what this picking. What you mean, Democrat, Republican? It's gangs. It's a gang. What you mean? Like, look at it. It's a gang, but it's an organized gang, right?
Yeah.
They getting away with it. Yeah, so it's like, right, they run it the same way.
So you just opened the door for me to talk to you about voting because
oh goodness,
think about this, my friend. If you were sending your kid to an environment, JR, Mr. like too cool for school, knows that he's the guy, right?
Right.
You would need him to like at least be knowledgeable about what gangs are in an area and how it works, right? You wouldn't want to send him in without knowledge. And if he had like any sort of control, you'd want him to exert it, right? So
for sure.
Even if it's not voting, he should at least be like actively educating himself about the game.
That's what I was telling you about, like, but last week, about like you can have all the knowledge. It's all about how you implement it. Yeah, I want you to have all the knowledge. But now, right, you know not to go through that door. And that one and that one and that one. That one's cool. You know what I mean? So, right, so all the knowledge is key to have. When do you use it though? How do you use it? It's also key.
I guess. I mean, the whole gang thing is an interesting play on political parties.
I'm telling you, they can try to doll it up as you just said all they want. You ain't fooling me.
I mean, right. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so.
That's interesting. I don't know why people don't like think about it that way.
Because once again, who you gonna go to change it? Like when we the ones who making it is what it is, and we set the standard. Like, how you gonna change something? How you gonna go to them? Yeah, right. So, what you mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like even like with gangs where when you try to have like, if you said like law enforcement is going to break it up and separate it, and then the first thing that happens is law enforcement gets corrupted and then they align with parties and then.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
goes
like
deep.
human behavior is just fascinating. Like no matter
Yeah.
what, like century, millennial, like just like trying to survive, trying to get ahead of the next guy.
We living in the last days.
It's definitely wild.
Yeah. I believe that at least.
Yeah, I mean, I just, like I said, with the anti-Semitism, I hope people just start educating themselves and maybe choose, like, if you don't know, maybe just be quiet. I mean, that's the other piece is like, if like so many people just speak to, to hear themselves or to get a following. I was talking to a client this week about like selling, right? Totally unrelated. We're talking about healthcare. We're talking about message clarity and how it's so important if you're selling something that your whole team who's selling it says the same thing and there's like a consistency in that.
Right.
And then I was saying like you should measure that to 100%. And they were like, "Well, how do you measure that?" And I said, "Well, you start at 100 and then as you start to hear things that are wrong or veer away from the truth and you know you're not at 100% anymore, you need to coach and train and whatever." But I think about when a when the client said like, "Well, what do you do if you just don't know?" Like it's this radical concept to be like, "Well, then you say I don't know." Or in the world of like, social media and everything else, you just maybe don't post. You don't maybe just don't open your mouth.
Right.
Maybe go listen, teach yourself,
Like I
ask
tell our
questions of
kids, you
people.
can learn a lot with your eyes. Just looking. You know, and your ears and listening. You know, you ain't gotta say nothing. If you don't know it, just peep the scene. You know, like, and then whatever, do whatever. You know, like, but right, people be just so quick to spit out what they believe, and like half the time it ain't right.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
I so we'll transition into business and it's kind of like fans and it's kind of like speaking when you don't know, but like being a small business owner, we have customers who are just so amazing, who are like support us no matter what, who are just so engaged and talk about what we are doing with other people and
Yeah.
committed. But then sometimes we have customers who just hate to hate. And that is a challenge. It's a challenge when they treat our employees in a way I don't love.
Yeah.
That's hard.
You
Like
got any examples?
we've never been
Care to
those
share?
we've never been those people who were like mean, around service issues. Like we get
Never.
frustrated, but like
Yeah, me never.
never been those people.
I'm the type to, accept a wrong meal because it's like it's all good. I don't want no problems. I don't want you to feel no type of way getting upset with me. I know you don't want to be here anyway, so it's like I accept it. But that's just me. Everybody not me. I know my mother, for instance. I hate going places with her. Seriously, because let her straw come out bent. She gonna say, "Hey, you got more straws? Look at this one." Like, oh, mom, come on now. So I get it, but yeah.
I mean, I think that there is something I'm not even going to touch that one. I'm just going to say there are people who do that because they have been raised and are comfortable taking up space and they see that as their almost like their right? As a person, like it's my right to have the straw be unbent and it's my right to have things the way I want it.
Man,
So
I
I'm not
guess
hating on
in a
that
sense.
perspective. My grandma was the same way. I mean, if you bring my grandma something that, she wouldn't be rude, but she would not eat it and nor would she pay for it, right?
For sure.
No matter who
I've
at that
seen
table. Yeah.
firsthand.
No matter who at that table. And I'm not saying you should, and we're in a service business, but we're the kind of people who we tend to go so far to keep the customer happy. This week, we had a few moments where customers were really unpleasant around timing. Like we had some employee issues, like we had some people call in for being sick or having, personal things. And so we were shorthanded, and so things were taking a little longer.
Yeah.
And we had just had some people be really unpleasant about it. And we fixed it. It was fine at the end of the day, like satisfied the customer. But I think it's kind of like the fan thing, right? It's like, can we all just be nice? I mean, I don't, why be ugly? I mean, we've seen it too when people are nasty. You're at a Walmart and somebody's just rude to someone checking out or just obnoxious. And like, it makes you so, we were somewhere and you were like, if they say one more thing, I have to go. Where was that? I can't even think about it. Somebody was like really being awful to some lady that worked somewhere and you were like, I really hope he stops or I'm going to have to go say something, which is so not in, but it was because it was excessive.
I forgot, but
And
yeah, I remember that, but I don't remember where
yeah,
you're
me
at though.
either. We're old.
But yeah, it was just like it was just it was really like guy, girl, and it's like why are you talking to that girl like that? Like come on, bro. Like like I said, I'm not one to step out my lane like that, but yeah, I was about to right then, but he
Yeah.
stopped. I don't know if he sensed it because I looked at him, you
You,
know,
you do have sort of an imposing,
because
scary when you
I
want to
turned
be.
back, like what, like hold on, bro, like yeah, but yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. And then what I feel bad is that when obviously the employees that we have, they genuinely care. Like truly, we're lucky. All of our employees like really do genuinely care.
Mhm.
And so then they were like,
Shout
I
out
hate that
him.
a customer was upset and I'm so sorry. And how can I fix it? And it's like, you did the best you could, don't stress. But I guess it's also a huge shout out to customers and people who are just great humans. The customers who
Yeah,
are,
yeah,
wonderful. I mean, the whole thing about like the coffee shop in particular is like, we don't have, like we make espresso the old school way. We don't have an automatic machine. Like we do it on purpose. Every single espresso is like,
yeah.
we hand prep it. And so
Handmade to order.
we steam our own milk and the recipes are ours and like the whole environment was supposed to be like chill and
Yeah,
um and not that we like take 10 minutes, but we're also not like running around like crazy people. And if it takes a second, maybe just be kind or tell someone, hey, we're in a really big hurry, because then we probably would say like, okay, well, this is how long it was going to take. Do you want to try something else if you're in a rush?
right.
um I don't know,
Yeah.
it just, especially on the
Sometimes
holiday
people
season.
don't be thinking. Sometimes they be thinking about something totally different, life, and like they just now you disturbing that. Goes back to time, like who knows what they need to get to or get, what I mean? And they feel like, why ain't you moving like I will be moving right now?
Yeah,
And you never know what they going through is life.
no, for sure,
They could be going through God knows what. They could have
but
lost
that espresso
somebody.
being out in two
And who
minutes and
knows?
12 seconds is not going to
True.
fix
It's not.
that
It
mess.
won't.
But I do think it's a good reminder to always be mindful that someone else, like when you're the customer, not you personally, I understood you. Like when we're the customer, we should be mindful of what people are, which we already are kind of like
Well, for
that.
sure. That's because, like I said, I won't know.
But
I won't no smoke, but yeah, but it be like that. I see it. We see it all the time.
yeah, it's hard. I think my thing too is that going back to how I overthink it, I could like make it real fast myself. So then I'm like, my staff person just got stressed out and the customer got frustrated.
There's different levels
Knocking mics and stuff.
that we dealing with.
It's just hard for me not to be like, well, how can I fix this problem? Like I'm just a chronic fixer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
have more to say about that?
Pin.
Yeah. So let's switch up, and do healthcare. Just spend a little bit of time on healthcare. We didn't get to talk about it that
then
much.
we didn't get to that last week, which I'm gonna sit back in my seat and relax and learn with the audience.
So,
No, I'm just playing.
in my day job, I do healthcare consulting for companies that are trying to fix healthcare. I said I was gonna bring books and I forgot. Well, I'll bring them next time. We'll like prop them up somewhere cute. So about 10 years ago, can you believe it's been 10 years? I started working in healthcare 10 years ago.
That's insane.
I know, it
Time
feels like
is
yesterday.
flying.
And we're so old, is how it feels. So I accidentally got into healthcare. So before that, I was doing nonprofit stuff, and you were getting frustrated with how like burnt out I was getting. Not frustrated with me, but just you were worried about me being overly committed.
Yeah, investing too much.
Yeah. So we thought, okay, the way to handle that is I'll just start a career where I won't get too invested. I don't know if that worked out. So it could be a me problem and not a career problem. So when I started, I knew nothing about insurance. I didn't know what a deductible was. JR was like 4 or 5. Yeah, he was little. And I remember
because Tate was what, like 1?
an infant. No, he was something like that. No, because he was an infant. I started in March of 15, so he's a few months old. But when I had JR, I remember arguing with the hospital that I delivered him at because they like sent me a bill for my deductible and I thought it was covered and I didn't understand the difference between covered and paid for.
Yep.
And I mean, I was in my 20s. I had no idea. So, I really started not just from ground zero. I was like below ground zero of like knowledge and education about insurance. I knew nothing. I didn't know what a copay was. I didn't know any of it. And then went from that to like running operations for a healthcare company. So I had to like teach myself. And almost immediately I realized like this game is rigged.
Scam.
So rigged. And so learned how it worked and then eventually went on my own and been consulting ever since. And one of the things, so I don't obviously you know this, but for the audience, I don't work with individuals usually unless it's like a favor and I'm trying to help someone. I either work with businesses who are trying to figure out healthcare for their employees,
Right.
or I help family members or friends, or I help the companies who are trying to unrig. This is going to be my blooper moment for next week. What do you call like not like fixing the rig? I don't know. It's rigged. How do I make it not rigged? That is what I have to do. And so those are the companies I help and I help them with operations. And so what's really frustrating for me right now, and I think I can only do a little bit at a time each episode. Otherwise it'll be like drinking from a fire hydrant for most people if I like overdo it. But the main thing is that what's on everyone's minds right now is like premiums. So people's premiums, if they were on an exchange plan, also known as Obamacare, also known as an ACA plan, sometimes if it's with their employer, premiums went crazy this year. And subsidies are what's being talked about. It's a big reason why the government shutdown happened. And what's so frustrating for me is we are talking about the symptom of the problem, not the actual problem. So to subsidy or not to subsidy is not the question. And the word would be subsidized, but you get what I'm saying?
Got it.
It's not the question. The real question is like what are the economics of health insurance and how did they get so misaligned, right? And the message that consumers are getting is that it's your doctors, it's your hospitals, it's healthcare is so expensive. And not to say that healthcare isn't expensive or that healthcare doesn't follow inflation or that things don't happen, but you heard it here first. The problem is insurance companies. And it is, if you really understand the role of an insurance company, a big insurance company, a Blue Cross, a United, a Cigna, Aetna, if you understand one basic concept, which is that they have stockholders, their job is to benefit their stockholders. Now they happen to get people access to care. Access. They don't get people care. They get them access to care. United Healthcare does not make people healthy. Blue Cross does not make people healthy. They don't give you surgeries. They give you access to care, right? But their ultimate job is to make money for their stockholders. And until Americans start realizing that they have to take their healthcare into their own hands and not rely on big insurance companies, the question is not how much is my subsidy? It has to be what is the difference between healthcare and health insurance, right? Like in the book I talk about, you don't buy a car based on where your health insurance tells you to buy a car.
All right.
You buy a car and then you go buy health insurance. But we make healthcare decisions, what doctor to go to, what hospital to go to, based on what health insurance we have. And like the order is reversed. And so obviously it'll be hard for me not to get on the soapbox, but I do just want to teach everyday Americans like how they can get control back of their healthcare, whether they have insurance or not. So if you have insurance, how to make the most of it, how to get the most out of your deductible, how to get the most out of your like RX copays, where to find prescriptions, how to like get the most out of your dollar. And if you're somebody who I know a lot of people are dealing with the fact they cannot afford healthcare this year because the premiums are so high, don't panic. Like there are options, there are ways for you to still get access to healthcare and not just feel like, it's just this inevitable doom. So I guess we'll do little snippets, but it'll be hard for me to like contain it to a certain time period. But
yeah,
I mean, I guess for me, like when we do this podcast, one of the things that I hope people, like I hope women in particular take away, if their man is a sports guy, a few things they can talk about, as it relates to sports. Yeah. Same thing with news and whatever, that people can learn a little bit of information and maybe have a different perspective. When it comes to healthcare, Oftentimes it's usually the woman that has to make healthcare decisions for the family. And so I'm hoping that we can share information for women and men who are making healthcare decisions and make them not feel stupid. Because that's the other thing, is that the whole system is designed to make consumers feel stupid about asking, or to be embarrassed if the card that you have isn't like
Right. You know.
Cadillac level coverage. Like, you're uninsured, on purpose,
Right. We
right?
get that all the
So,
time.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. What have you felt like in this healthcare journey has been the biggest takeaway, like being next to me while I figure all this out? Any big aha moments, or more just validation of what you thought was already?
Yeah. Just validation. You know, because once I found out that it's literally people that's on the other side of the needle, should I say, like the doctor, and they making more than the actual doctor is making, that don't make no sense. Like, how can somebody over here, you know, just on the keyboard typing and doing this, and this guy who actually in the lab saving someone's life, how can he even come close to what I'm making? Rigged, rigged, and that's and then like right, a lot of the doctors, they victim of it, you know, like, and it sucks. It sucks, you know, and that's why it's the system is rigged from top to bottom.
Yeah.
So
There are answers, though. I mean, it's not totally hopeless. We didn't have
I mean, yeah, but they make it hard, you know.
absolutely. And that's what I want this to do is they don't want you to see the options.
Yeah,
Talk about a gang. This is some gang stuff right here. But they don't want you to make it. They don't want to make it obvious. They don't want to make it easy. And unfortunately, they have a lot of lobby dollars, which make
yeah.
regulation make it hard.
That's why I was really worried about you writing these books, you know, because it's like, who I know. All right, sorry, I know you be naive a lot, you know, when it comes to a few things. So that's why I was just so worried. But you know,
Well, luckily
it's
I'm
gonna
a
be what it's gonna
nobody
be.
writing a book that like subtly is like getting it out to people. And I didn't name any big carriers.
True.
I just talked about it. Now I just named them all out loud right now, but our viewership is still low. But I honestly, it's the truth. I mean, that what happened with like the United Healthcare CEO getting murdered, like for the reason that he did. Now, again, hate is hate. He did not deserve to be murdered. He has
Yeah,
a wife and children, and it was not worth his life.
no doubt.
But again, it's because Americans are fed up and they don't know what to do about it. And I will
Yeah,
say a little bit of this has to come back on all of us. Like, we have an obligation to be responsible for ourselves and our health. That's our job. So
mhm.
if we can help by just educating people about how to do that, like my mom, it took me a long time to get my mom to realize that she could take control back of her health. She could change where she was going, who she was talking to, how to advocate for herself, not be just tied down to where the system told her she had to go
Right.
to.
People just don't, you know, you don't know. How do you know? And
Yeah,
you don't trust it because it's like, well, hold on, no, no, no. Who are you to tell me that everybody else is saying this?
exactly.
You know, and it's like, right, it's a reason why everybody's saying that.
Yeah.
You know, like, game, you gotta know how to play it.
I think that's the ultimate thing. Is just, so this week is just understanding. And if you're curious, go look at the average salary of a surgeon, a physician, a
Hmm.
whatever, and then go look at the salary of leadership inside of major healthcare corporations.
Brokers, these
Every
just go
like
look at these guys.
It's ridiculous. So
Ridiculous.
next week I want to talk about alternatives, so how to get access to physicians and people directly, like even if you have insurance or don't. So we'll focus on that, but I just wanted to ease on into it a little bit. It's going to be
Yeah.
hard. I could do a whole episode on it.
Yeah.
So we're almost at time, so we'll kind of end with your
Not
mic
just
drop,
yet.
and then my Mads moment. So do you want to do yours, or you want me to do
Well,
mine?
before we get there, is there anything else you want to cover? You feel we want to touch back on? We got a few minutes before it's over, so we don't need it.
I mean, this week was, it was crazy because I'm getting ready to take off for a week. So it was really frantic and busy and wild, but I'm hoping that next week I can actually pause, and I'm realizing how much we didn't do that. And we don't do that very often at all.
Nice.
What about you? The week, anything?
Um,
You know what I wanted to talk about, and you did not remind me. Jake Paul got his ass whooped.
yeah,
I
mean,
hate the Pauls.
yeah.
Can we go back to sports just for 1 second?
we didn't really talk about sports much. We just talked about the
kids' sports,
fans.
yeah.
You know, but like I said, it was a down week in sports, really.
No, it
So-
wasn't. Jake Paul got his ass whipped.
Well, I don't even consider
You
that
don't call it a
sports.
sport?
That's like
It's just
that's
about
some
time. I just
entertainment
can't. I just can't with them. And I've told you this whole time. I thought the only reason it was all rigged the whole time. And I'm just so glad. I think what it
that
really
might
is.
even been rigged in itself.
Well,
too.
I'm telling you, I think either one of two things, because I'm not convinced that like it's legit anyways. Either he's realizing that the whole like Paul franchise is realizing that people aren't buying it, and he had to do something to make it more believable. I mean, but he really believably got his ass whooped. But
I think he was outmatched Anthony Joshua.
Or that he finally found someone that he bribed. He tried to bribe, but who wanted the pride. Like it was more about the win than it was about the money. I think one of those two things are true.
That jaw got tapped. Oh, I know.
What do you think he'll do? You think he'll be humbled or no? You think he's gonna have excuses?
I don't know. Like I said, I didn't get to catch his what he said at the end. You know, I was out. But yeah, so but yeah, he I can imagine, you know, he's gonna, you know, be Jake Paul, you know, and still boast brag, you know, but he got whooped on. He got whooped on pretty good.
Great.
Yeah, but he lasted longer than I thought though. You
I just
know?
want the memes. I just want to see the
Yeah.
How do you think, dude? Who's the guy who was gonna fight that?
Oh, Tank. Yeah, I think Tank would have the same thing. It just would look crazier because Tank's so much smaller. But I wanted to see that one. That's the fight I wanted to see. Tank go up against. Just because it's like, right, like it's almost would have been like getting revenge for old Nate Robinson, what he did to him. You know what I mean? I had that boy fly across the ring. You know, but right now he a basketball player. He ain't no boxer, but he's small. You know? So it's like Tank, he might even be smaller than him. He would have.
The whole thing is just a joke. It'd be like having you go out and like beat have someone want to challenge you at like badminton or something and being like, I beat him. Like that's not your sport. So it's like, dude, just go sit down somewhere. Was great.
He have been in the lab with Jake for his defense. Jake, he do, you know what I mean? He trained. But
I'm talking about who he chooses to fight. Right. And like,
up to now.
I'm not saying I'm not saying he's not doing anything, but I'm not saying he's not working. I'm not saying like, okay, there is one more thing. This is my Mads moment and it's a good segue. So JR gets in the car the other night after practice and says, Mom, Ashton said he forgot I was left-handed. And we both busted out laughing because like for the audience, JR is not left-handed. But his dad has been on him about the fact that he can't go left in basketball. He can't shoot with his left, can't make layups with left, can't dribble with his left. So he's just been working on his left. And I guess he was like saucing him with his left. And so they were like, oh man, JR, I forgot you were left-handed. And so I was like, oh dude, that's a great like post because that's an example of how when you find something that's a weakness and you work at it, you can make it a strength. You don't just make it like neutral, you can make it a strength. Right. And so kudos to JR for putting the work in. Hilarious that the kids thought he was left-handed. I love that. I'm gonna really use that this next year. Like, what do I do that I could work on and make him think I'm left-handed? You know. Yeah. But to Jake Paul, like I gotta give him credit that he did put work in. I just can't stand his personality.
Well, yeah, that's different. But
he did put work in.
For sure, though.
So that's my Mads moment.
It's like with Floyd Mayweather. People don't like his personality and how boisterous he is. But hey, you can't deny him. You can't deny it, you know, so.
So that's my Mads moment is that make him think you're left-handed. Pick a thing that you're not strong at. And maybe next week we'll talk about what we're going to each pick this year and focus on. But that's my Mads moment. What's your mic drop?
My mic drop. I just need all Ohio State Buckeyes. I need us all now to rally, you know, because we got to bounce back.
You see, I rallied.
Yeah, you see, this wasn't by accident. You know, I pulled it out.
I really just wanted to wear these shoes.
You did.
In this match.
They look nice. They nice. You know, can we talk about, hold on. You know what? Yes, this is going to be my mic drop for the week. Jordans.
Oh, goodness. I don't know if we have enough time.
Since when did Jordans come in women's sizes? Like, and like, it's just women's. Like,
This feels very sexist.
it's not. I'm sorry. It's just like, all right.
Since women started rocking Jordans, could we also talk about since when they make shoes
But
that look
why
like
did-
women's and men's? I wouldn't.
It's
Like
just
what?
like, okay, how can I put this?
You just want us to have to do the
No, they
conversion
make
in our brain.
unisex things, like just like to where like you can buy it, I can buy it.
Okay, just spell.
It
What
don't gotta-
Jordans do you wish were men's? Which one?
It's a lot of them, but I just don't understand why is it like, for instance, they got a ratio chart, right? For like if you buying a man's shoe, if you a woman, what size you need to buy.
Yeah, converting the size. Yeah.
So it's like, what's going on? Why can't it just be like you keep all the same? Because like it's a lot. Like for instance, the 12s, the orange ones, right? The I forgot what they call, like brick something. I don't know, but they orange and black. They are amazing, but they only came in women's.
Okay.
You know, and it's like-
Pause. I get what you're saying. There's a chance that maybe the Jordan brand is trying to like broaden and be more inclusive. The real question is, what is it about you that you have a problem, my husband, wearing a shoe that looks amazing because it says it's a woman's shoe? When I've had to wear Jordans that I thought looked amazing and are frankly extremely feminine, but said they were a man, so I had to do math to figure out which ones I could wear. Why are you opposed to wearing a shoe that's woman's? Like, rock it. Obviously, you're not a woman. Who cares?
True. But this is Jordan we talking about here. We like, I just don't understand it. Like,
I think they're just
maybe
trying to be more
help me out.
inclusive.
I mean, yeah, but like you can still be inclusive with the same sizes to where it's like, right. And I never understood that. You know, like it's just now, it's like when I was a shorty, it was like, you know, my mom, you know, she wasn't able to get us everything we wanted, you know? And it's like I had lots of wants as a kid, you know, and it was like, but I couldn't get
Not
them.
just as a kid. Anyways, continue.
But no, you know, but it's like now, all right, I done got older. I can provide for myself. I can get them now. But now I can't.
Because they're in women's?
Sometimes in women's. And sometimes now it's like, I remember you can go and I would have a whole day in school, get out of school, go to the mall just with my friends and still see the J's that came out today like, on the shelves. Like, man, look at them. Like, and you can get them. They got them in all sizes still. They don't even put it on the rack no more because they know they gone. You know, it's like, what happened?
Well, I also got really good at the apps. Like, I got really good at the raffles. We were winning. We
True.
would get launched. And now it's like, even that's changing. I think AI and bots, they can sit here and say they put all these
I
like
don't
things
know.
in place,
It makes no sense.
but it doesn't. Like this last time, you know, like it was a whole ordeal. We were prepared for the drops. And now it's like, I don't think it's fair. I don't think humans are winning all the shoes. I don't think.
Humans is winning.
I don't think so. Well, not humans who they think are winning. I think it's people
True.
who've built
People
code that.
humans done did things, but I just don't understand. You know what I mean? I feel it's if you got it, you should be able to get it. You know, it shouldn't be this, nope, you got it, nope, you didn't. You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
not an accident, though. That is by design. That is supply and demand. And what's happened when he has restricted supply is demand has gone crazy. That's why the price of Jordans has gone up. That's why people are acting like it's like an exclusive. Because it's not just retros anymore. It used to just be retro drops. Now it's drops of some crazy colorway with some whatever. But that's business, right? It's like capitalism, supply and demand. Reduce the supply, demand goes crazy. Increase the supply, nobody wants it anymore.
I don't believe.
So what do you think is happening?
I don't know.
And you're
But
just like fundamentally opposed to like thinking it's like the natural law of economics.
something is going on, you know, because it don't make sense. It just don't make sense. We'll
I think
leave
you're
it
just
at that.
salty.
I'm definitely salty.
You wanted the gammas.
I did. But
And we were prepared. We were locked and loaded and just.
yeah.
And then it sucks because now you got all these resale sites, but it's like.
No, I'd never do those. If I don't get them organically, it wasn't meant to be. So
Yeah, because $100 extra for the.
you're lucky if that's what you spend, you know. So
I may or may not have looked for Christmas for you to see if I could
Don't
find
do it.
them. I'm just like, I can tell you now because I didn't buy them. But that was what I was like when I saw you didn't get them. I was like, oh, I can add that. And then I looked in your size and I'm like, I just can't do it.
don't do it. I'd rather buy.
It's
some wheels.
outrageous.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So your mic drop is.
Jordan, get it together, my
I
brother.
feel like this could also be a gang. there's a gang
I mean,
environment around Jordans.
it's definitely a cult,
It's something. There's
It's a
something
cult.
going on.
and it ain't
It's
going
rigged.
nowhere.
Yeah.
It was just crazy. You think about that. Like, is Jordan ever going to play out? I don't think it is.
I don't think so.
I mean, I know I said I'm going to take a little minute on buying them. That's just a second. I'm going to get back, but
Then like all the audience,
hopefully
none
when
of
I
the
come
audience
back,
has any
he got
clue
it together.
how
I
many
know it's probably the
shoes you
first.
have. And like
We don't need to talk about all that.
so it's like the fact that we're taking a second is
Yeah.
just really comedic. But
Yeah.
all right, what's a good mic drop?
Yeah, that's my mic drop for the week.
All right, well, this is week 2. We got
Week
lots
2.
of probably good moments to make fun of ourselves for next week.
Lots of them.
But I'm ready. If you are.
I'm
We said
ready.
what we said.
We said what we said.